So in addition to our rallies and to our Zooms, we have rolled up our sleeves, sometimes short sleeves, and helped where we can. Justice Southbury has stocked the juice shelf at the Southbury Food Bank for 3 years. We have collected purses and toiletries for women who are homeless or victims of domestic violence. We've gathered items and funds for Afghan refugees, held family readings, and sponsored the Waterbury Community Garden. Through all of our efforts, both here on the corner and elsewhere, one person has been a constant. He's our most valuable player, the heart and soul of Justice Southbury. You all know him, Jeremy Farrell.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Yeah, it is great to be here. You may notice my broken clipboard. I have not replaced it yet since I spoke at New Milford and tripped down the stairs when I was leaving the gazebo. So don't let anybody tell you activism isn't messy or embarrassing sometimes. Sometimes it's hard to do the good work. I speak at every year commemoration rally, and for those who know me, you know that I like seeing the positive, seeing the passion and the love and the heart we have, seeing what we've created here and how incredible and powerful it is. But on these commemoration rallies, I tend to talk about moving forward, what moving forward looks like. These rallies always land right next to when George Floyd was murdered, because that's why we were here. And this year, it lands on the day. And reckoning with our past and our future is not easy. It requires a lot of hard work, and it requires a lot of deliberation. When I think about moving forward with Justice Southbury right now, the first thing I think about is that there is no clear path forward. We have no point that we know we are working towards, and then we will have done it. And that makes it very hard to continue. It makes it hard to find the reasons to keep going. But the more I have thought about it, the more I have realized that the reason we're here doing this is not because we have a clear path, not because we know exactly what tomorrow or our country looks like, but we do know that this work is worth doing. That's what I've learned over the last 5 years, that this is work worth doing, and that is a good enough reason to keep doing it. We need, right now, to step back and recommit ourselves. We live in a different world than we did 5 years ago, but a world that needs us to be strong and active and present just as much. And I think we all need to take this seriously. For many, I hope recommitting yourself means being with Justice Southbury more, getting involved with us more. But for those who are involved, maybe recommitting means taking a step back. This is not the time to get caught up in our little issues. I am proud of Justice Southbury, but this moment in history is bigger than Justice Southbury, and we need to remember that. So when I look at our country right now and how we need to recommit to, I see two things very clearly for me. One, I am going to recommit to my sharing of quotes and stories by Americans who were born into slavery, a project I have been working on for years on this very corner, and I've shared dozens of stories and quotes for by now. It is important when our history is under attack to make sure we are not forgetting it, and not that we're still defending the scraps we have, but we are discovering more to love. We are discovering parts that we don't talk about and need to. And second, when I think about recommitting myself, I see the dehumanization that is taking place right now. That scares me so much. How we live in a world right now where so much of what happens is dictated by who it happens to and if we think we need to care. This is such a scary point for me in this country, that there's so many people dedicated to dehumanizing certain people so that they can do whatever they want to them. Moving forward, we need to be strong and vocal. And that does not just mean speaking broadly. It does not just mean coming out here and saying we need to love each other. It means speaking strongly and specifically. So as we look towards the future, I want to start by speaking very specifically. I don't just believe that dehumanization is happening. I don't just believe that immigrants are bearing the brunt of this horrific language. But I believe very, very clearly that if somebody is on American soil, they should be treated with human rights. And that is a point that is apparently currently up for debate. If somebody's on American soil, they should be treated with human rights. Not because of the law, not because of court orders, not even because of amendments to the Constitution. Their human rights should be respected because we in America know how important those human rights are. We built a country on respecting human rights, on recognizing we all have a place to belong. Even when we haven't lived up to it, we recognized how meaningful that was for the people involved. We know that all human rights should be respected. And in a perfect world, in a loving world, they would be respected everywhere. But we can't make that happen. We can't change the entire world. But here, in our country, in the country we call home, the country we vote in this country, we can make sure we live by that standard. We can make sure we know the human rights that should be applied to everybody are applied to everybody. I have seen the government pick and choose who gets human rights, because I paid attention to U.S. history when I learned it. I saw how we treated Native Americans on land that was theirs. I saw how we treated black people on a nation that they built. And I see how we treat immigrants right now. We cannot allow rights to be taken away from whoever the government deems unworthy of them. Not with how wrong we've been before. We cannot let them make us see each other, human beings, as undeserving of such fundamental rights. And in that way, we are still fighting the same fight we were fighting 5 years ago. It's already been brought up today, but we have already had so many conversations about how it doesn't matter who that person was directly. It is about how they were treated, if they were given the rights that a human being deserves, saying that it does not matter what you think of somebody, that does not mean they can get a death sentence at the moment through no courts just because somebody thought they could. We are still fighting the same fights we were fighting 5 years ago, but that gives me hope because we have gotten very good at fighting those fights and organizing around them. There are those who want to turn their back on human rights and American principles because it stops them from building the America that they want. An America that is simple. An America without difference or diversity or dissension. An America in the way that they imagine it. And they are willing to turn their back on our principles to do it. But I am not. I still believe in an America built on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I still believe in that country. I still believe we can be that country. If I learned anything from American history, it's that we need to stand by American principles, even when our government will not, especially when our government will not. We know these principles are important, and we know that they have not always been respected. We know that this is important, that this requires work. But we dare to see the humanity in each other even when it is scary and uncomfortable. Because we know we can live up to our ideals. We know we can live up to what our country can be, but it requires work. I may not know what tomorrow looks like. I may not know where we'll be as a country even a few days from now. But every Sunday at 2 p.m., I know where I'll be. I'll be right here. Because this is work worth doing. And that's all we need right now. Thank you.